Hello, America. There is another Planned Parenthood tape. This is worse than what we have heard before. I'm sorry to say we all need to hear it. We can't bury our head in one of the most important subjects of our day. This is going to be the thing that 100 years from now, people will look back and say, these grotesque monsters, how did they not stop this? Just like people say now about slavery. Not the people who owned slaves, but the people who were standing around and did nothing about it. Well, they tried. There were people that tried. There were a lot of people that didn't want to look at the problem. But in the end, we fixed it. And in the end, this will be fixed. This will be accomplished. We will stop murdering children in the name of convenience. But right now we have to just take a look at the latest tape in the Planned Parenthood scandal. We begin there right now. Pat, you want to set this up for us?
Yeah, they did more undercover video that has just been released. This was Planned Parenthood at the National Abortion Federation. Apparently they host, the NAF hosts some kind of secretive annual meeting, trade show every April. What we're about to hear is from this year's, when they went in and started talking and listening to these medical directors, the Planned Parenthood people, some of the abortion activists, and it's pretty chilling what they had to say.
Our stories don't really have a place in a lot of pro-choice discourse and rhetoric, right? The heads that get stuck that we can't get out. So
she said that the heads that get stuck that we can't get out. The hemorrhages that we manage.
You know, those are all parts of our experience.
Those are all parts of our experience. There's no real good place to go and talk about this kind of stuff. So apparently she's inviting that, really wonderful discussion here. So let's talk about all the heads that get stuck and all the arms and legs we pull off.
But there's no real good place for us to share those.
The fetus is a tough little object, and taking it apart. Wow.
So she's saying the fetus is a tough little object, and taking it apart. I mean, taking it apart on day one is very difficult.
It's very difficult, but
oh my God, I get it. When the skull is broken, that's really sharp.
You heard what she said? Oh my God, I get it. When the skull is broken, it's really sharp. She apparently cut her hand on a baby's skull.
Yeah, I understand why people are talking about getting that skull out, that malaria.
Sometimes she'll tell me she wants brain, and we'll, leave the calvarium until last minute, try to basically take it, or actually.
So now they're talking about taking the brain out and keeping it, and obviously then they're able to sell it. You separate it from the rest of the tissue. Then another woman talks about an eyeball just fell down into my lap when she was performing an abortion, and that was really gross.
Gosh.
I mean,
why was it gross?
Why?
Right.
Yeah. Why was it gross?
Tissue, right?
Curious.
Why
would you think it was gross?
I make a bold statement here. Stu doesn't want me to.
No, I like you to be bold. I just, when you give the disclaimer leading up to it, I know you're trying something that's untested material.
Well, it's not material.
I'm saying it in that way because you're saying something that you just thought of that you have probably not thought through all the way. That's why I'm...
May I think out loud for a minute? And that's a rhetorical question.
It always is.
Our problem is not the wicked. It's really not the wicked. It's not the people who are performing the abortions. It's not. There will always be, and there has always been, those people that will do those things.
It's about all the people that don't care. Right?
Yes. It's about the apathy of the average person. If I could stop all the wicked, but not affect the apathetic, more people will rise up. If I could awaken the apathetic, it would stop the wicked. But we concentrate on the wicked, and that's not the problem. It's really not the problem.
Are you saying that you don't think we should play audio like this?
No.
Of the wicked?
No. We have to, because this will not be seen on mainstream media. This is not going to be seen except in conservative circles. But we need to, instead of, and I don't mind this, and honestly, the Catholics have done such an amazing job. I mean, I've talked to leaders of my church, and they have said over and over again, thank God for the Catholics, because the Catholics have led the way on this for a long time. And so I praise them. I'm grateful for them. I'm grateful for the people who go down and take a stand and, are outside of these clinics saying good things to the girls, offering help. I don't think it helps to have the pictures of the cut up bodies because it's just so horrific. You just don't want to even look at it. But I appreciate that. It has to be done. We have to take a stand there, and we have to call out Planned Parenthood. But if we would spend more time trying to wake our friends and neighbors who are just asleep, how do we nudge them? How do we just kind of gently? Nobody wants you to jump in. There's nothing worse than when my kids come into my bedroom in the middle of the night or in the morning and they jump on my bed. Dad! Okay, stop. I was dead asleep. I really appreciate it when my kids come up and they just kind of put their hand on me and then just kind of slowly just kind of, shake me awake a little bit, gently. We can wake up a little more naturally. How do we do that to our friends? How do we plant the seeds and take them from point A to point Z, but going through B, C, D, E, F, G? The signs are at Z, and the signs are for the people who are going in. What we need to do is concentrate and target those friends who can be awakened. And I really think we need a very small percentage of people. And when we have, I really think it's this audience. I always have. But if we can focus and we can start speaking a universal language, not the language of the right, a universal language where the left and the common sense left, not the Nancy Pelosi's of the world, not the people who are driven by politics, but those people who are just as sick of this chaos as we are, just as sick of arguing all the time and bickering, and that they just want common sense. We are going to disagree on some policies, but when they truly understand what Planned Parenthood, who in your circle of friends do you know, especially women, that will hear that, who is maybe perhaps gently on the other side, that you can sit down and say, Madge, like in the old Folgers commercials, Madge, can I talk to you about something? Sure, honey. I'm soaking in it? Yes.
You're soaking in Folgers?
I think it was Folgers.
Palmolive.
They used to soak in the Folgers. Palmolive was a whole different other thing.
I don't think so. I don't think
Yeah,
I have that right.
I have a pretty good memory on these things. But anyway,
Me too.
be able to take Madge and move her in that direction, and in a month or so, be able to show her that.
And what you're talking about as a situation of like walking people down the road and trying to do this in a way that's not so confrontational or whatever. I mean, I think you could make a legitimate argument after listening to that video that we should never talk about another topic. It's actually that serious.
I believe this to be the stain on this generation.
Absolutely.
This is going to be the slavery of our generation. This is going to be things that people will look back and say there were monsters.
If we did this show only, because it's a show, right? If we did it not because we wanted to entertain and everything else that's a mission of a show, if it was just a mission,
it would be this.
It would be literally only this. It's the only thing. If you stop just this in our lifetime, everything else doesn't matter.
Yep.
Well, yeah. I mean, you've got one of these abortionists saying that when she's doing a procedure and she starts to fear that it's about to be a partial birth abortion, she'll get a second set of forceps, stop the body of the baby at the cervix of the mother, and pull legs off. a leg or two,
gosh,
so that it's not a partial birth abortion.
Oh my gosh!
I mean that is absolutely horrific. That is horrifying.
If we put that in a horror movie, it would be totally acceptable as a horror movie. Mm-hmm. People would say, what a monster. You put scary music behind that, and people would say, that's the scariest person I've ever met.
Yeah.
But because we call them a nurse and we call this murder a procedure, a medical procedure, we accept it.